going on, everybody? How's it going? I want to what? I want to formally apologize for the simple fact that I forgot about the My Hero chapter. Like yesterday I got home, I was super excited for the chapter. Like extremely excited. My energy was incredible. I came down here, I started to set everything up. I was like 5 seconds away from pushing the button to make the stream go up. And I pulled up Viz and I'm like, oh, the chapter comes out tomorrow. Gotcha, I'll do it after. And then I had made plans to go play football. And then I got out of work late. And then I was so amped up for Tower of God. When I ended the Tower of God stream, I was like, I'm going to go eat some food, take a shower, and I'm getting to bed early. And then it hit me. My Hero chapter. So I went from like yesterday being ecstatic about the chapter to completely forgetting about the chapter in like less than 24 hours. So forgive me. Forgive me. Arthur, Tower of God stream already happened. It did. I've never shown my face. What's going on? Hey, everybody. It already happened. I was live for like an hour and 10 minutes, I think, or just under an hour and 10 minutes, something like that. But yeah, let's do that. Ah, dang it. I did the wrong thing. Let's do this. I was amped up for the Tower of God chapter 2. I did like it. I was super amped up. I went on a rant about how it wasn't on the front page of Webtoon. Then I went on a rant about Rachel. And then I was like excited. And there was a lot of stuff. It was an exciting one for me. But let me pull this up. That's right. This is where we're leaving off. This is where I remember more now. I like her new design. What's that? What is that? What's up, game nerds? What is that? Do you have notifications? I don't know any other way how to. If you go to your sub feed, and if you scroll through your sub feed, you should see it. It wouldn't show up now. It would show up when I created it, which was like 2 hours ago now at this point. Scroll through your sub feed. You should find it because it has to finish processing. And then when it processes, it'll be fully published and then you'll be able to find it. But right now it's kind of like in limbo. You can't go to the channel and find it unless you're on desktop. Well, I don't even think on desktop you'll be able to find it. It's one of those like it's in your sub feed if you scroll. I haven't been in a while, so give me a recap on the story. What's for My Hero? What's the last thing you remember in My Hero? A lot has happened. Cool, Arthur. Hope you enjoy it. You'd have to let me know what's the last thing you read. It's been very dense. Well, to me, it's been very dense. Not like Hunter x Hunter level of dense. But it's a lot of things that's happened in a short amount of time in My Hero. Yeah, it's weird. For live streams, it'll stand like the standard definition version will be up, but it won't be published. And it takes like anywhere between 12 to 18 hours for a stream to publish. So it won't show up. Like sometimes you get a notification or something will happen tomorrow about it. Weird. Last thing I remember is classmates trying to stop Deku because he's a workaholic. So from that point forward, the traitor has been revealed. We've gotten more information about All for One. We had Shigaraki fought the #1 hero from America. A lot's happened. A lot has happened. Yeah, if I remember in the correct order, They ended up getting through the Deku. Oh, I if stop watching the stream. Trader confirmed, revealed everything. We're in the midst of it right now. Stop watching. I'm speaking to my mother. Stop watching. I can't freely talk about this because this is my hero and you like it. You like this series a lot and you don't read it. You watch it. Exit. You know what? Very candid. Let's see. I don't think she's going to answer. Really let it ring. Okay, voicemail. All right, so in the order that it happened, I'm going to assume that she's not watching. In the order that it happened, if you are watching, it's your fault. So if you are in the order that it happened, Uraraka was able to Uraraka and the rest of the class was able to sway Deku and capture him and convince him to come back to UA. Bakugo apologized to him, like genuinely apologized to him, like he aired everything out from when they were children all the way till now. He aired it out. I think it was a great moment. He apologized. He's back at UA now. Shigaraki had a fight with the number one hero from the United States. Her name is Star and Stripe. She is, if you remember, if you've seen the very first My Hero movie, Two Heroes, the little girl that All Might saves, the one with glasses at the beginning of the movie when he's flying through and he stops a person from hitting the car. The little girl with the glasses, that's the number one. She ends up growing up and becoming the number one hero in the United States. Her quirk is absolutely busted. It's a busted quirk. And she left on her own to Japan to help out. And Shigaraki met her out there and they had a fight over the ocean, which resulted in her death. And at the same time, she's destroyed. We don't have a number on how many quirks she's destroyed, but she's destroyed, like, if we really want to like be crazy, almost all of Shigaraki's quirks. It's possible. We don't know how many have been destroyed, but a lot have been destroyed. She almost killed him, but he's holding on barely. At that point, it is then revealed that it wasn't. Trust me, it wasn't. It wasn't. She was in the series for less than 10 chapters, just about 10 chapters, and it was absolutely incredible. It like how I'm speaking about it, it feels anticlimactic, but when you're reading it, it's just like, man, I wish I had more. But she's done more than anyone in the entire series outside of All Might almost killing All For One before the series started. She's done more than anybody in the entire series to him. Like her by herself almost killed him, and everyone in the war couldn't do that. It took all those people, and they all almost died. And she did die, and she almost got the job done, if not for like one or two things. Like if their fight was on ground, I feel like she would have won. I don't know. I feel like for some reason she would have won. Yeah, Shigaraki's completely busted now, but he almost died. The traitor has Deku's at the school. The traitor has been revealed as Aoyama. Aoyama is the traitor, confirmed. He tried to take out Deku. Deku captured him and his family. Geesh, bots. Deku captured him and his family. And the children are trying to figure out a way in which they can use Aoyama. To somehow. Okay, hidden. Okay. to somehow like fight back against All for One, which I don't think is possible. And right now we have a week. We have a week in before Shigaraki is 100% again. And we're using this time to recover, get Deku a new outfit, and all that good stuff. So that's where we're at currently. I feel like I've kind of like glossed over a lot of the tiny little details, but those are like the big cliff notes of what's been going on. So last chapter literally ended off with Ida and Deku walking up to Hatsume's office and it blowing up like it did before, and her landing on top of him. And we're seeing that Deku, I think we're seeing glimpses that the sweet boy is still in there. I don't think he's still 100% on the oh yeah, Deku has a smoke screen quirk. He has an inertia building quirk. So like the more he moves, the faster he gets. So it's like if he like pumps his arm a couple of times and then unleashes it, it'll take him off. I'm pretty sure, I forgot what they called it, but Deku experienced time dilation by how fast he was moving. He was moving like he was able to see water droplets as he was moving through the air, and it was raining. Like that's how fast he was moving. He can kind of create a fake 100% without hurting himself. He's at 40% using the quirk is called Fajin. He has smoke screen. He's gotten danger sense under control. Black whip. He was using Black whip as appendages. So if you remember how Shigaraki was at the end of the war, when he was just like a Spider-Man, Deku can do the same thing now. It's he's a force. He still hasn't unlocked the second user's quirk yet, so we don't know what that is. If I can, I'll pull up a picture of Deku really quick, and then we can get started. Bakugo, like it's been confirmed that Bakugo's quirk has gone under a quirk. His quirk has mutated. Bakugo's explosion quirk has mutated. So before it would just be he ignited the sweat on his hands and it would blow up. And now he can make his sweat bead up into balls, and he can ignite every single bead of sweat individually. So now when he launches his explosions, they literally look like constellations now. like he's leveling up. Todoroki's to the point now where he can use fire and ice at the same time, but he just has to figure out how he can use it correctly. And it's just like he can now use them both simultaneously and regulate his body temperature up and down. And everyone else is going through like similar things. But Deku is very clearly he's very clearly stepping his way further and further away from him, but they're doing just enough to where they can just be supports. They're from before, so like Aries' quirk is a mutation because her quirk is not from her lineage. One for All mutated because it wasn't like how it is with Deku isn't the same how it was with All Might. If Shigaraki's quirk was not given to him from All for One, his quirk would be a mutation because it is not the same as Nana's quirk. So quirk mutations were a thing before. Aoyama was quirkless. When he got made the traitor, All for One gave him a worthless quirk, and it's not compatible with his body. That's why he gets the stomach aches. That's why he needs the device all the time, all that stuff. I'm trying to find a picture of Deku. Where's my Hero folder? I got cold really fast. Yeah. I'm trying to find a picture of Deku. That's like a really cool picture of Deku. Deku fought an assassin at nighttime and it was incredible. A sniper assassin. That was incredible. And she's incredible. I'm trying to find a picture of him. Like Deku was looking like there was a lot of memes of him and Guts standing next to each other and walking places. It was. I'm gonna show you this picture, and this is what Deku was looking like in the last arc. Like, that's what he was looking like. Yeah. Yeah. So our boy, he's not the same no more. He's not the same. He's not the same. Couldn't stand up on his own. Like, he was working himself to death. But he's not the same. Not the same. He's not as grizzled as he was now, but his mindset is different. Like, he thinks very singularly now, and they've been reminding him that they've been reminding him, like, you mean us? And he's like, yeah, us. So that's the state of my hero. I'm personally loving it. All right, been talking about my hero for like 20. Let me read the chapter 339, the story of how we all became heroes, part 2. Here we go. Here we go. All right. How's it hanging? What can I do for you two? I love her design. My danger sense didn't activate. I was caught off guard. He's blushing. Caught unawares by the bosom. Hatsume. We have come to you today to request costume repairs. Why not put in a request to the item agency like usual? Wait. Is she so clueless at what's been going on in the world? The agencies are, well, there's been disruption to the typical exchange of goods and services these days. We now need to rely on the support course. This is all she's been waiting for. You don't say. Well, that makes sense. Like, she's literally clueless about the state of the entire world. The war happened. Yeah, the war just happened. There was a prison break. Japan's borders have been closed. I don't think she's left her workshop. I think what she's experiencing right now is the person that never leaves their house, and the end of the world just happened, and she finally works up the courage to go outside, and it's desolate. That's what's happening right now. She has no idea what's going on. All right. Don't tell me. Is she clueless about the state of the world? Hatsume, I swear. What is it with you and explosions? She's quarantining. Costume repairs? Come on in. Power loader. There's no way power loader has been locked in here with her. There's no way. Oh, schematics for the UA barrier. Is that what power loader's been working on, possibly? I feel like I'm talking way too loud into the microphone. Forgive me. Things are a bit different here. I'm in charge of R&D for the UA barrier. Maintenance too, once each part is up and running. Okay. So you're telling me that the UA barrier isn't fully 100% functional yet? Mid gauntlets. The latest in compression tech. These were prototypes from overseas, so I can't restock. Think you could fix them for me? Is this a rush job? You bet it is. Look at that look. No can do. No can do. I thought they were talking about the UA barrier like it was up and done. But Power Loader seemingly is saying that the UA barrier is not fully functional yet. So that means an attack right now would be, yeah, they are. An attack on UA right now would prove to be not good. Because the UA barrier wouldn't be able to get them to Shiketsu or wherever they need to go. The UA barrier is a security system that allows like parts of like UA and Shiketsu have an underground network in which they can move like very fast between one another across Japan. But it doesn't seem like it's fully operational. So maybe there's like one path open to Shiketsu possibly. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right, no can do. With that level of damage, I need to remake them basically from scratch. And we lack the condemnium. Wow, I'm struggling. Condemnium. I'll go with that. Thank you. Okay, Mom. Condemnium. For the compression mechanism. So no can do. Walking away at the speed of nope. Hatsume, what about my armor? Without the Spectox? No can do. She's getting further and further away. No can do. How frank. Don't sweat it. We can make what you need. We're in Hatsume's class. Thank you, we're in your debt. How curious though. Hatsume takes to tinkering like a fish to water. So I assumed she would offer us aid. And then Deku, what are you working on? The evac shelter blocks. They're blasting off? Cool. What can she? She's like the support item girl. So if you remember from when Deku first realized he could kick and he got his steel-toed boots and stuff, she made those for him. Like she has the quirk where she could like I think like pinpoint and figure stuff out. She's like a tech girl. I enlisted Hatsume to help improve our defenses. She's busy concocting new mechanisms in case of mass evacuation. Like I alluded to before, her zeal and inventive mind put her in a league of her own. She's crazy. She's smart, but she's crazy. And then Deku's getting flashbacks from the last time he went and saw her. Even a perfect A+ idea could drop to an A- in a flash. When I think up a new baby, I gotta raise it right. That's some wisdom from me. Nah, she had a quirk. Like her pupils are like a reticle. And she like, I forgot the exact name of her quirk. It's like something. Oh, now I'm curious. I kind of want to look it up. Her quirk is called, that's very tiny. What in the world? She's like really smart, but zoom. May's quirk allows her to make her vision zoom in on whatever is in her line of sight. If she really focuses, May can see things as far as 5 kilometers. There you go. Yeah. All right. Let me reread this again. Even a perfect A+ idea can drop to an A- in a flash. When I think up a new baby, I gotta raise it right. That's some wisdom from me. Hatsume's words of wisdom. All right. Next page. See a big page? I won't look. I get it. No wonder you're paying no mind to the outside world. You're laser focused on your beloved inventions. You're pretty amazing, Hatsume. Don't be dense, Midoriya. As dense as a high density polyethylene. Excuse me? I don't get it. Of course, I'm aware of the nasty predicament you heroes are facing out there. Okay, cool. We may not be fighters, but just like how you guys are trying every trick in the book to protect as many people as possible, we're tackling it in our own way. Inventing stuff is how the support course does heroics. This is the most detailed, amazing panel of her ever. I never would have thought we would have gotten a panel like this for her. I'm not mad though. I'm not mad at all. Okay. Zoom it in, zoom it in. Did I miss a page? I see the gauntlets are there. I didn't miss a page. Wow, Hatsume. Bang. She just threw them in his face? I couldn't replicate them exactly. My babies might not be the latest and greatest. Please put them to work for you. Okay? Kind of random if you ask me. It's a moment for the support group. They're the only heroes that we really haven't seen in this whole thing so far. So I wonder what kind of technology is the sleeves. They have the Air Force rings on them, so he can put those to use as well. Space for Black Whip to come out. I wonder what this technology is. Gloves included? Look at his face. Did your left hand alone just whip these up? I like that. I like that. And this is no perfect replica of your armor, Ida, but she slammed him in the face too. All right, thank you. We were just about to take their measurements. Please give your Hero Course pals a message. Man looks straight out of a horror movie. His face is a butthole. Their faces, their buttholes. Let's win this. And they're just so excited. Ida, you need new glasses? She broke them. Their faces are buttholes. Legit. Their faces are buttholes. Their faces are still buttholes. They left and their faces are still like that. That didn't take long, you two. Good thing we're all prepped and ready. And they're with my lady. Just in time then, thank goodness. Faces ain't supposed to stick that way, yeah? I've heard about what Class A has been through, but sadly we can't afford to waste a single day at this point. All right. Our best case scenario is still finding and mopping up the Liberation Front and the League of Villains as soon as possible. Minimize. That would solve this whole mess, so we're not abandoning the original plan altogether. And standing around all dazed and confused is just playing into our enemy's hands. Aoyama, think he'll take that hand we offered? Unstick his face. If I get to this panel right here, this panel down here, that panel in the corner, if his face is still a butthole, okay, it popped out. I have faith that Aoyama will come back to us, assuming he ain't whammied by some kind of curse. Gotcha. His face is there. I think it'll be fine. Because he has always had his sights set on the man he wants to be, more than any of us. I think that's the longest, like a gag joke like that has stuck around. I didn't realize he was that much taller than him. All right. Okay, people, let's move. Midoriya is at the center of this operation. Class 1A of I was going to say I don't know what I was saying. Class 1A of UA's Hero Course. Search Squad assemble. Meanwhile. Damn, YouTube does it again. I'm almost at the end of the chapter. I spent like 20 minutes catching up the Game Nerds on like the last couple of months of My Hero. So you got here in time. Meanwhile, in the Kansai region, ooh, she's got a haircut. That's right. Her hair got damaged. Oh, her hair got damaged in the war, right? Because she got burnt up. Has her quirk ever like looked like this before? Anyone hurt Sun Eater? Personal space. Thank y'all so much. Hard to believe those thing villains started tossing their weight around out here in the boonies. Well, you folks can rest easy now. We'll get you on over to Shiketsu High. It's a real sturdy fortress, solid as UA even. Thank you, young man. Can you at least show us your face? Nope. No thanks. But fewer people means much less intel. We're in a tight spot. Ryukyu, Fat Gum. Alright. Gone are the days of slinging sneak attacks and raids at each other. Now it's the opposite. Both sides are pulling out all the stops. Gearing up for a true blue all-out war on every front. So about our plan B. Let's review the key info about the other battle that could decide it all. What are we talking about, All Might? What other battle are we talking about? I'm trying to think, has her quirk ever looked like this? I know her quirk has always swirled, but you can't see her hands and you can't see her legs. Skinny All Might still looks creepy to me. The sunken eyes. Them sunken eyes, man. And that pointed chin. Her quirk has never... Not like this. Not like this. I don't think she's looked like this before, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe that's a good point. She's usually limiting her output. You think she's got some development from the war where she'll never let something like that happen again, so she's just letting it run all free? They're doing all this. They're doing all this. You know what I have a feeling about? I have it because right here we see Nejire. What is Sunny? Amajiki. Yeah. Amajiki, Fat Gum, Ryukyu. They're all here. I wouldn't be surprised if Mirio isn't involved in this other battle. Because why wouldn't he be with them? You get what I mean? Why wouldn't Mirio be with the rest of them? I feel like he would make some sort of appearance with all of these heroes. They're on screen together. They all have a panel. Why wouldn't Mirio have a panel with them or say something or they mention him? I think all the accolades of what Mirio is and the fact that he has his quirk back, you would use him because he's such a powerful piece that you can use. If this other battle is like a nut, like I feel like, I don't know, this other battle could possibly be not a physical fight, because in the panel above it literally says on every single front. This battle might be an intelligence battle. It might be media battle, a perception of what's going on. Who knows? It could be something like that. Dr. Doofenshmirtz died in the war. I forgot. It could be something like that. As far as what they're talking about, the other battle. But we haven't seen Mirio since the war. Excuse me. Which makes me feel like he's out there going crazy. Or they got him like truly. They got him going deep into possibly being like the ace in the hole for taking out All For One, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? This was a good chapter. I really enjoyed this chapter. I enjoyed seeing Hatsume again, getting like almost a full chapter to be with her, see how she feels about everything that's going on, how she's dedicated to figuring all this stuff out, how important she actually is to I don't want another war arc. I think it's dumb how most of the heroes got off. Only about 15 people died. Not that many people died. And I don't think we're getting another war arc. I think that arc we had was the start of the war. It was the first battle of the war. And we're kind of in like a downtime right now, and the rest of the series is going to be a war. Like essentially that was the start of the war, and we're witnessing battles within the war. So that's what I think is happening. That's my I can never think of the proper words to fully explain myself. I think that's how I'm viewing it, how I'm taking it in. Like the war has started. We're in the middle of the war. Even though the series is telling us that the war is going to start. A battle that massive, and the losses that we've experienced from the battle and at the villa and the hospital is too massive for it not to be the start of a war. I think that's the start of. I feel like that was the start of the war, and now it's just going to be like everything else is just like very, very like noticeable and important battles that have happened until the final battle, because it's like we went from the war to the prison breakout, and then from the prison breakout we went to the Dark Deku arc, and then from the Dark Deku arc we had the next massive battle, which would be the war. The next massive battle between what seemingly was the world's #1 hero. She was regarded as the strongest, and going up against Shigaraki and losing her life, and that's marking another small section in which we're gearing up for another series of battles that are just gonna it's very possible that can ravage Japan if it gets out of control, which I do have a feeling that it might get out of control in some fronts. I wonder if we can snuff it out before it happens, but I don't think so. I feel like this is just going to be like, as you look at it, like this is the war. It's not going to be like a Naruto war where the war was 2 days long. It's not going to, I feel like that, like when I think of like Bleach's war, the whole final arc was the war. It started, it stopped, like, just because we stopped fighting just a little bit doesn't mean the war is over. So that's what I'm feeling. But so many of these battles are gonna be so one-sided with Shigaraki and Deku. It's hard for me to get invested. No, I don't think so. Because I feel like they're setting it up for Deku and Shigaraki to fight each other. They're not going to be fighting anyone else. Everyone else is going to be fighting everyone else. So you're going to be able to be invested. I don't think we're going to, like, Deku's not going to go on a one-man war against every single person from the Paranormal Liberation Front. It's going to get set up to where, I forgot to mention all the Shoto stuff that happened. That Shoto and Endeavor are going to go up against Dabi. Deku's going to fight Shigaraki. There's the possibility that Bakugo could fight All For One. Ochako's going to fight Toga. Um, it's not like Deku's not gonna take on. If this was the Deku from the Dark Deku arc, he would have made it his mission. He would have made it his mission to fight everybody. He easily would have made it his mission to fight every single person, but that's not viable. It's not a viable thing. It's not viable whatsoever. So we have to be like, we have to strategize. We're not gonna blow our load with Deku and have him fight every single person and then get him in front of the person that's the ringleader and have him be exhausted. We're gonna save him for him and let them go balls to the wall out there and let them fight to a decisive battle, and we can handle everything here. That's what I'm thinking is possibly gonna happen. It makes the most sense. Because if that were the case, like we had Deku trying to do that. That's what the whole the Dark Deku arc was to showcase. The fact that Deku can't do it by himself. Even if he was a 100%, just the rate at which he was working himself, he wouldn't be able to do it. He wouldn't be able to do it. Like, they're formidable. They might not be as strong as him, but all of them working together, the entire Paranormal Liberation Front, they're formidable. They haven't been able to do all of this for no reason. They're very formidable. There's not a possible way that they won't fight. Everything's been set up for them to fight. That's why I'm not even thinking about the fact of them not fighting. Literally, the whole purpose of the story is for these two to come to blows. They've already fought once before. They need to run it back. We've seen Deku. We've had these instances of Shigaraki with Star and Stripe trying to go and acquire a quirk that would put him over the edge and make him more busted than he already is, and being outsmarted and losing. And we had the same thing with Deku, showing that Deku's just trying to nip everything in the bud. He literally was going around anyone that was in his way, he was putting them down. Any boss that was in his way, he put them down. He was not judicial at all. It was just I'm judge, jury, and executioner. If the series was dark enough, he would have been killing them too. And it got to the point where he could never get there. He always would, like, he could never get the person he needed. He got the person he needed, and they just led to another person, and then that person just led to another person. And by the time he would have even gotten close to getting to one of the lieutenants or Shigaraki or All For One, he would have gotten himself killed. Heck, he almost did get himself killed. So I don't think they would be able to one-sidedly be able to do it, because they've both tried and they've both failed. They both tried and failed. Game Nerds, the series has been confirmed by Hori that it will be done in the year of 2022. And if it's not going to be done this year, it'll be done next year. The series is the series is wrapping up. It took like 20 chapters for him to change. 20 chapters, but we skipped some time too. Deku needed it. He needed to change. Drink some water before my throat acts up. And what do you mean by so soon? It's chapter 339. I don't understand what you mean by so soon. I mean, change from dark and gritty to just him. He's still the same. Like, he's still the same boy. I think he's still dark and grim. It's just he's been convinced. I don't think he just needed to be convinced that he can work with others. He was so convinced that he couldn't. it's to the point where his mindset is still the same from the Dark Deku arc. The only thing that has changed is that he's allowing people to help him. That's the only thing. Because when I'm reading panels of him talking, it's the same as how he was as when he was in the Dark Deku arc. It's just the only thing that has changed really is that he's allowed people to be with him. Like he shut everyone off, and now he's not shutting everybody off, and he's letting them in, but he's still having the chain of thought. Like I don't think he wants to sit around and do all this crap. He's doing it because they're all there and they're all voices in his head that can run through and kind of get him to come back a little bit. But he's he's all these evil Deku's never given all these crazy looks like this. He's not, I don't think he's smiled since, when's the last time Deku smiled? Like he's still like got this sort of semi dead look in his eye. The only he's so he's very I'm certain, with the whole Aoyama thing, I'm certain we'll get him back. I'm certain we'll get him back, but you know what? That's pretty much the only optimism he's shown. Like he allowed them to help him. Accepting help from another sounds easy, but I feel like it should have been more realistic in his unwillingness to change. Oh no, he didn't change. They literally broke him down. You have to read it yourself. He didn't change. They tried to catch him and he ran away from them. After being he literally was at his physical end. He couldn't stand up by himself. Black Whip was literally like crutches for him. He couldn't stand up by himself. He couldn't walk by himself. He wasn't even moving on his own will. Like he was using his quirks to move himself at that point. He was at his physical end. He was at his mental limit, and they literally broke through to him to the point where he was able to just you know what? He passed out. He woke up. He listened. He passed out. He woke up. He was like, no, but they had him restrained. And then they broke through to him. And now he's at this point where they've broken through to him because they are the people that he loves, that he cares so much for. So he's at this point now where it's just okay, I'll let you guys be around. But it wasn't an easy thing for him whatsoever. It wasn't like they showed up and he was just like, all right, cool, I'll listen. No, it was to the point where I thought he was gonna fight them, but he really didn't want to hurt them, even though he was tearing them up. He really didn't want to hurt them, so he resisted, and he passed, they damn near knocked him out. Tried to, they really couldn't, and he passed out in their they emotionally broke through to him, and all of his he really was trying not to. He really didn't want to be around them. He really tried. I felt like it came through. Those 3 or 4 chapters where they were trying to get him, I feel like it chipped through at what they were trying to do. And then the Uraraka speech and everything. I can see a Deku who has convinced himself and being by himself is the best thing. I can see how the events that happened in the chapters could have got him back. Not even gotten him back, got him to a point, got him to a point of what's his face? Of listening. And he's at that point where it's his friends are there. He's listening, but he's still that's what I was mentioning earlier. He'll say things and it's little panels here and there that if you don't pay attention to, you wouldn't get it. But he'll say something and someone in the background will be like, you mean us, or you mean we, or we'll go do this. It's very I now. I'll do this. I'm going to do this. I will do that. I will take care of this. I'm going to go out there. And they're like, no, we are going to, because you are crazy. Kind of like that. So it's and now with this whole Aoyama thing happening at the same time, he's still in a swirl. I don't think he's really had a moment truly by himself, which they haven't given him. He hasn't had a moment by himself to just truly sit. He took a bath together. I'm pretty sure someone's sleeping in the room with him. they're doing everything. It's always 8 people around him at all times. Because I genuinely have a feeling that if they left him alone, like now I feel like because of the whole Aoyama thing, he's more willing, right? He's more willing to work with them because of the Aoyama thing. And he wants to make sure that Aoyama can still be a hero. So now I feel like he's more willing to stay. But if the Aoyama thing didn't happen, I guarantee you if they would have left him alone, he would have left. He would have absolutely left. If anything happens, he's gone. He's gone. I don't know. Did you catch in this chapter, Dexter, that the UA barrier isn't 100%? Did you catch that? I caught that. And they were speaking about the UA barrier like so highly. And Power Loader literally said it's not done. Like, I'm still working on it. So that if there's some sort of attack early or an attack on UA, what are the chances that the UA barrier works properly and they're entrusting all their faith into it? Like he says, I'm in. I think that's like telling. for some reason, that's telling to me. I think that's telling. There might be a chance that a path to Shiketsu might be the only thing that's completed. So if something does happen, they could jump in whatever this chamber is and just fly their way to Shiketsu. But I feel like something's gonna happen and the UA barrier is gonna fail, or it's not gonna get them where they need to be. I don't know. I have no idea, but I feel like that was telling. Yeah. I just have this feeling that an attack is gonna happen early. They're so set on we're not gonna waste time. And I feel like a surprise attack is gonna happen. He got his powers back in the war deck, game nerds. He already has his quirk. He fought the Nomus at the end of the war with he was protecting Best Genus. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, keeping everyone occupied. I totally agree. Yeah. I forgot what chapter number it was, but he like Gagan was like, was it Gagan? No, it wasn't. Someone was about, who was it? Everyone had converged on Best Genus when Best Genus showed up, and Best Genus was literally about to get like destroyed, and Mirio came up and saved the day. And it was Mirio. Who was it? Who all was it that was like Best Genus was holding in the middle? And it was it Mirio, Nejire, and someone else? They all were like going. It's something I can't wait for it to be animated. But they were like going hyper speed around him, protecting him from everything that was happening. I think All For One will do everything he can to isolate Midori and Shigaraki for their fight. Absolutely. It's really cold down here. Like, I'm shivering. I'm like shivering. I'm freezing down here. I have a feeling we were talking about this. I don't think so. Shigaraki, he's been decimated. I don't think so. Because Deku already, the fight they had in the war, Deku was doing really good in it because he was just throwing caution to the wind, but then he let his emotions get the best of him, and then he almost got his quirk taken, which it's possible. Like, Deku's emotionally compromised, so it's possible to get him to go into a fit of rage again. But how effective, we don't know how many quirks Shigaraki still has, but how effective it was to fight him in the air, because now that he has Fajin, Black Whip, and float. Now that he is able to proficiently use all of those, Deku was only doing that good against Shigaraki with Black Whip. But with all three of those in combination, I would love to see what Shigaraki could do if they got stuck in the air. And to have somebody with that much maneuverability and power. Because we've seen how Shigaraki can maneuver in the air in an air battle against Star. But Star doesn't have the power Deku does. So, it would be much different, and I would love to see how he manages that. I don't want him to lose his quirk before the end of the series. That's what I don't want. He was flying on a Nomu. He was flying on a Nomu, and she was flying on a jet. And plus, he's really strong too. So like, his jumps are like All Might jumps now. So like, he can do like what All Might does and what Deku does, like with the air pressure and all that good stuff. Yeah. He was flying on a Nomu, and she was flying on a jet. And it was some of the best stuff ever. It was great. So Shigaraki has some maneuverability in the air, but Deku's air maneuverability is superior. It's just how would a Shigaraki? I have a feeling that there's a possibility that Shigaraki could kill All For One. There's a possibility that Shigaraki can kill All For One, and Deku can save Tenko while killing Shigaraki at the same time, if that makes sense. He is, but there's still the Nomus that carried Shigaraki away at the end of the war. The 6 near high ends. They're still out there. They're still being put to use by All For One. I said something that fast I forgot. The heck did I just say? Before the high ends. It's gone. That's terrible. What did I just say? It's gone. Saving Tenko while killing Shigaraki. I feel like there's a chance that we no, not yet. Not yet. Don't know the status of that. I personally believe that Shigaraki will be able to. You know what? Hold on. What are the chances that you know what? Wow, I'm really thinking. I'm really thinking because of all the imagery we've got. What if, this is theory, I just thought about this. This is why I'm like taking so long to think about it. Tenko has been visualized to still be inside of Shigaraki. Little baby Tenko. Like, that mind state is still in there somewhere. which makes sense to me because he was perverted. He wasn't fully changed. Little Tenko is still in there. Right now, Shigaraki is in a losing mental battle with All For One on who's going to be the host of the body. What if Shigaraki loses the battle with All For One, even though they said like there's supposed to be like a new being that's neither Shigaraki nor All For One because of like the battle with Star? But what if All For One wins the battle, think he's won, and Shigaraki somehow gets him to a point where All For One not necessarily lets his guard down? Not because I don't think All For One will ever let his guard down, but All For One would have not even have thought that Shigaraki would be a problem anymore. And Shigaraki retakes back over his body and kills All For One. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's a possibility, even add more onto it, that Deku, because of how the war ended, he says that Shigaraki still needs to be saved too. And by seeing Little Tenko in there, that lends to him still being saved. I think, not right now. This is a hypothetical. I'm thinking that a Tenko could come to the surface, like a Tenko personality, and that would be the unexpected event from All For One, which could lead to his death. And then upon Deku thinking that Shigaraki has been saved, Tenko gets devoured by Shigaraki, like the Shigaraki personality. And that's how you get your Shigaraki. He is the final boss. He is All For One 100% now. There is no more All For One left, and it is him. There's no way. I hold on to so many like tiny things that are said in a chapter and then quickly walked away, like turned away from, like the whole like the UA barrier is not done, and then it's just like do like, huh? Like, what do you mean the UA barrier is not done? That's definitely got to come back, right? I think that Gran Torino telling Deku that you can't save everyone, and sometimes killing someone is saving them. I don't think we just throw that in there and that never, ever, 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 ever comes back again. I don't think that happens. I do feel like that comes back. I feel like the author's gonna have Shigaraki come to terms with Tenko. Call it a hunch. That's a possibility. I don't think so. That's a possibility. I'm not gonna say no. Me personally, I don't think so. I'm saying I don't think so because Hori loves Star Wars too much. He loves Star Wars too much. We could either have the Darth Vader and Luke moment, or hate the movie as much as you want to. You could have a Kylo Ren and Snoke moment, where you think Kylo's the good guy and then Kylo ends up being the bad guy. Even though Ninth Jedi, goodness. Rise of, I'm thinking of episode 9. That's why I said the 9th. But the Rise of Skywalker like completely negates that. That's what I'm saying. It can either be the Darth Vader moment, or it can be, because this is why I'm thinking more so like I'm thinking like Shigaraki could be Ben Solo. That's what I'm thinking. So it could either be like a Darth Vader Ben Solo moment in which he comes to terms with himself after all the bad he's done and dies, or Shigaraki can end like how The Last Jedi ended, where you think that Ben Solo has come through, and Ben Solo was working wrong. Horigoshi's third favorite movie of all time is one of the newest Star Wars movies. So that's wrong. I wanna say it's one of the newest Star Wars movies. I know one of the newest Spider-Man movies is Far From Home is like his second favorite movie. And the Jakku, a lot of the references in a ton of the references in My Hero right now are from the new trilogy. So I think Hori really likes Star Wars a lot, no matter what, if it's the prequels, sequels, or the originals. But I think there it could be Shigaraki could be Ben Solo, and the series can end with him dying and being reconciled, or it can end with thinking he's being reconciled and then he ends up just being the full-on bad guy through and through. And that's how it goes. We used the bait and switch from The Last Jedi. The ninth movie made Anakin's entire storyline irrelevant, but that's a topic for a different day. I haven't thought much about it to really truly think about it. I don't know. I like the newer movies too. That's neither here nor there. I think that's all I got. I mustered the energy up for this stream. I forgot about this chapter today. I was hoping that it came out yesterday because I'm like exhausted and I'm supposed to be going outside to play football. Like right now, like in 10 minutes. I don't have the energy for this. Oh gosh. Yeah, in 10 minutes. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. Love this chapter. Can't wait to see more. I need to get some rest, but I'm not going to. Not going to. Had off last Friday. That was good enough, I guess. Football is dark out. I think the high school has its lights on. So we're gonna go play on the turf. That's what we're gonna do. That's if the lights are on. Part of me is hoping that the lights aren't on so we could just take our butts home. But I'm pretty sure the lights are on. But yeah, that's all I got. Appreciate you guys. Thank you again for hanging out with me. This is very impromptu. I'll have a good rest of your Monday, good rest of your week. And I'll see you here, not next week. Wow, I was going to say next week. There's no chapter next week. So I'll see you in 2 weeks. So have a good one. And I hope to see you there. Peace out.